короче. Здесь такая обстановка у нас. Дождь идет, ливень.
Umar Nurmagomedov has a strong message for anyone doubting Islam Makhachev ahead of UFC 322. The Dagestani champion in waiting isn't coming to New York City with just one plan.
You know, he don't have just one plan for fight, and he have plan A, B, C, and like all alphabet, you know, D, E, A, everything, you know, like if something not he couldn't do, he gonna try other one not good, he have next plan, you know. And he's amazing fighter, and he's amazing friend, brother, and I think he will take this belt. I think he deserves.
According to Umar, Makhachev has mapped out every possible route to victory, from plan A to plan Z, ensuring that no matter what Jack Della Maddalena throws at him, there will always be a counter ready. That's the level of preparation and adaptability that defines Islam, a fighter Umar describes as one of the smartest minds in MMA today.
Do you think he's like very built well for welterweight?
Yes, he become a bigger, you know, now we have more power, more than ever, and I think he's ready.
Yeah.
While the world debates whether UFC 322's main event will be a striker versus grappler showdown, those who know Makhachev best insist it's a much more complex than that. Training alongside Islam for years, Umar has seen his evolution firsthand. He insists Makhachev isn't just in top shape, he's reached a level of intelligence and strategy few fighters can match. And with his move to welterweight, Islam has found a new kind of power that's making waves in the gym. The Dagestani lightweight king, now walking around heavier and stronger, has his sights set on becoming a two-division UFC champion, and he's not leaving anything to chance.
Explain to me why he's better or why he's going to give Islam a good fight. I just don't see it. Striking, grappling, submissions, takedown defense, takedowns. I see total dominance from my brother, Islam Makhachev.
I want Islam to win, but it's not going to be that easy. Jack has just gotten exponentially better in such a short time. I've watched him in a couple of fights. Spirit was never broken. It's going to be difficult, but if someone can make it look straight up easy, Islam possesses the skills.
I'm hearing through the grapevines too that Islam Makhachev, he doesn't have that too many fights in his career. Remember, dude, Khabib Nurmagomedov retired young, bro. These guys will follow suit. You know why? They train like freaking maniacs. They train hard, bro. There's something different with Russians. They love leaving on top.
For Jack Della Maddalena, the confident Australian who shocked the world earlier this year by beating Belal Muhammad to claim the 170-pound title, this matchup is more than just another title defense. It's a career-defining moment. And he's been talking like it too. Della Maddalena has made it clear that he believes his striking and power will be too much for Makhachev. He's been openly dismissive of Islam's size, saying the former lightweight champion simply isn't big enough for true welterweights. In his mind, the same way Alexander Volkanovski was unable to land shots in Makhachev, his own striking will do far greater damage, especially with the natural size and power advantage he brings.
It's going to start on the feet, and we'll go from there. But yeah, I think he's going to try and mix it up. I think he's going to probably try and get on the wrestling early, I'd imagine. Looking back on the Belal fight, he probably sees that Belal's mistake was maybe not getting on the wrestling early. So yeah, I expect in the first round we'll get into some at least some grappling exchanges, you know.
Confident and composed, Della Maddalena has told fans he plans to break Makhachev, showing the world that the Dagestani's dominance has limits. But if Islam has heard those words, they don't seem to mean much. When asked about Jack's preparation, he brushed it off as background noise. Every fighter, he said, claims they'll break him, yet they all end up being the ones broken instead. And with a 27-1 record, including wins over elite names like Charles Oliveira, Dustin Poirier, and Alexander Volkanovski, it's hard to argue otherwise. Maddalena's entire career has been built on proving doubters wrong. Still, even with all this confidence and dominance, Islam's respect for Della Maddalena is genuine. He's not underestimating the Aussie. In fact, he's been complimentary of Jack's boxing and composure. What stands out to him most is how calm Maddalena stays when taken down, something not every striker can claim. Islam has studied Jack's fights and noticed that nearly every opponent has managed to get him to the mat, yet he never panics or makes reckless mistakes.
Honestly, yeah, I watch all his fights. He's good. Striking is good. His boxing is very good, you know. And his wrestling not so good, but he good in the ground. He know how to defend, how to escape, how to get up, you know. He have good skills in the ground also, but I saw his wrestling just not good, but he know how to defend, you know. And like he's striking really good. That's why he's the one of the best in the world, and he's the world champion right now.
What about his wrestling isn't good? What is he doing wrong?
I saw his defense, a lot of guys take him down. Like I think all his opponents in UFC take him down, but he feel good in the ground. When somebody take him down, he not panic, like try to do some mistake, and he know how to defend.
Makhachev's preparation for this challenge has been intense. Moving up from 155 to 170 pounds meant completely reshaping his body and his training habits. For years, he was known for his brutal weight cuts, often dropping more than 10 kilograms before fight week. That grind took a toll, and Islam has openly admitted that those cuts left him feeling only 60 to 70% recovered by fight night. Now, at welterweight, he's finally free from those restrictions, able to train and eat properly without obsessing over every calorie.
Хорошо. Ислам, второй вопрос. Как проходит подготовка? Что нового в этой подготовке у тебя?
Все было
Чем
нормально.
отличается?
Пока ты не приехал 2 дня назад, я начал отвечаться.
Нормально отвечай. Давай.
Чем не отличается? Веса больше. Дирхамов весит 91 килограмм. Раньше я работал с пацаном, который 84-83 весили максимум.
Понял. А как с гонка на этот раз?
С гонки даже не думаю. Жизнь изменилась.
Да.
Раньше всегда думал на ужин, где покушать, что покушать. Сейчас без разницы, лишь бы покушать.
This new version of Makhachev walks around at 87 kilograms, with plans to cut down to about 83 kilograms by fight week. He's been focused on building strength rather than losing it, lifting heavier weights and working with larger sparring partners to match the size of welterweights. Fighters in his gym now outweigh him by several kilos, forcing him to adapt and grow stronger. He's also been using supplements like creatine and protein more regularly, something he didn't prioritize before. The result, he says, is a body that feels healthier, more explosive, and better suited for the grind of 5-round fights. His longtime mentor and friend, Khabib Nurmagomedov, has also joined his camp, making sure no corner of his preparation is left unchecked. Since arriving in New York, Khabib has been pushing Islam harder than ever. The two share a bond built in relentless discipline, and even though Makhachev joked that training was easier before Khabib arrived, it's clear that having the eagle by his side brings out his sharpest edge.
The champ is here. Islam, как себя чувствуешь, брат? Как обстановка?
Как это рыба.
Заряжен, да?
Outside of his own circle, fighters across the MMA world have been weighing in on how UFC 322 might play out. George Masvidal gave Islam the highest possible compliment by calling him the best grappler in the sport. To Masvidal, no one matches Makhachev's control and submission skills once a fighter hits the mat. He sees Islam as a nightmare for anyone who can't keep the fight standing, and believes his performance against Della Maddalena will confirm that reputation.
Islam Makhachev and Jack Magdalena.
I got Islam.
Islam. It's a
Islam.
good fight.
Yeah,
It's a good ass
Islam,
fight.
I think that's a really good fight for Islam. Islam's top control is different than Bilal. Like Islam.
Oh yeah,
Islam,
no, that 100%. I think
So
he's the best guy on the ground, on the mat. Once it hits the mat, not nobody else has better ground control, submissions, just everything. On the ground, he's a real life nightmare. Strikes as well, he does damage. I would easily say Makhachev is the best ground fighter right now, you know, especially after what he did to Charles Oliveira. You know, what he's done to so many guys it's crazy. It's just, is he going to be able to deal with the size and the defensive athleticism wrestling of Jack? Because Jack could wrestle pretty damn good defensively, you know, and he showed out against Bilal. Bilal, I know, is not Islam with the technical savviness, especially up against the cage, because I feel like Islam has several degrees with his foot sweeps, his judo, a lot of the things that he does, like really, really slick, you know. So it could be early on in the fight. Islam could get you down and get you tired early, you know. He's very, very good at doing that. But that being said, I think Jack is a threat he's never faced before. I think Jack, and to be honest with you, Jack has some of the best hands right now in the fucking UFC. Bar none. Like, I could see this guy throwing hands with anybody. He's not going to have a problem. The way he switches stance, it's like he's a Terrence Crawford, man.
Demetrius Johnson took a more tactical stance. He sees this matchup as unpredictable, a fight that could either turn into a slow, grind-heavy battle or a thrilling back and forth. What excites Johnson most is that Della Maddalena doesn't simply accept being controlled. He's always moving, always looking to create scrambles and openings. That could force Makhachev into a much more dynamic kind of fight than he's used to.
It turned out to be a banger fight. For him to take on a guy like Islam Makhachev, not steering away from that challenge. Islam is coming up, so he's going to be, I feel like comparably size-wise, they're going to be about even, Islam's super good. JDM's got Craig Jones in the camp to, battle. And Volkanovski to battle that, Dagestan wrestling. It's going to be, it could be two things. It could be a very, very boring fight, or it could be a very, very exciting fight. Meaning by the way it could be boring is if Islam's able to take down JDM and get his back, hold him there, out grapple him, stifle him. He could potentially do that. But the one thing I love about JDM when he fights is he never accepted position. When he was fighting Gilbert Burns, great grappler, takes him down. Right when he gets up, he throws that knee into the void. Gilbert Burns ducks down into it. He runs into it. JDM doesn't accept the position when he gets taken down. He's always looking to grapple, always look at the anti-wrestle. That's what makes this fight exciting. And he's got some fucking good hands. He's not the way his boxing is, he's very tight. I'm excited for that fight just because we're seeing the best at 155 take on the best at 170. It's very rare when the moons align. Same thing at the co-main event. Shevchenko taking on Wei Li.
Let me have a turn in the main event.
Okay. Go ahead, babe. Go ahead, get in there.
Let me just move on. I got things to say about this.
Let's go.
But
Mario Bautista gave his take as well. He admitted that his heart leans toward Jack, but his head recognizes how physically imposing Makhachev has become. Having seen Islam bulk up in training, Bautista thinks the Dagestani will be much stronger at 170 pounds than people expect. He said, "I bet on Jack's victory. My heart tells me so. I want Jack to win. We'll see, but Islam will be bigger and stronger at welterweight. After all, he used to cut a lot of weight." Merab Dvalishvili has a nuanced view. He respects Makhachev's suffocating style, but noted that Della Maddalena's ability to pop back up after takedowns might be the difference. Watching Jack's previous fights, Merab noticed how quickly he recovered after being grounded, refusing to let opponents control him for long. He believes this fight could come down to endurance. Which fighter can maintain their pace deep into the championship rounds?
Islam, he's moving up to 170. Do you think that he gets the job done and wins that title, or do you think JDM retains?
It's gonna be hard for him, but it's possible to Islam Makhachev wins the second bout. JDM is great fighter, great striker, but Islam is tricky. He has a good wrestling. He's southpaw. He don't get hits, but he takes people down. He walks people down. And also, we all see the JDM Bravo Harvest fight, and then I'm sure Islam will take lots of lessons from this fight, and Islam will make some adjustments. It's possible, it's gonna be hard, but Islam can win the second bout.
Charles Oliveira, a former opponent of Makhachev, also chimed in with an interesting perspective. He admires Della Maddalena's calculated style and patience, traits that could prove useful against someone as methodical as Islam. Oliveira believes if Jack can survive those early rounds, when Makhachev's grappling is most dominant, he might be able to shift momentum later in the fight. For once, Islam could find himself in a war that stretches beyond his comfort zone.
O que você acha que ganha entre o Jack Della Maddalena e o Islam?
Maddalena, ele é um jogo muito complicado, porque ele é um cara que ele não vem pra te nocautear rápido, ele vem pra te finalizar, ele vem te mamando aos poucos, né? Aos poucos. Foi o que ele fez agora na luta contra o Bilal. Só que eu acho que o Islam vai se dar muito bem nessa categoria, né, mano? Agora vai estar muito mais forte, é um zone que, tipo, ele gosta de agarrar e botar pra baixo. Eu acho que o Jack Maddalena fazer a mesma luta que ele fez, né? Agora contra o Bilal, batendo, movimentando, saindo, machucando, é uma luta, mas se deixar o Islam agarrar e botar pra baixo é o time.
Sean O'Malley looked at the bigger picture. For him, UFC 322 isn't just about a belt, it's about legacy. He believes whoever wins this fight could become one of the sport's global icons. Maybe even opening the door for blockbuster bouts against other champions like Ilia Topuria, and O'Malley pointed out that Della Maddalena thrives in chaotic fights, and if he can turn this matchup into one, he might disrupt Islam's usually precise technical rhythm.
Islam relinquish his belt and go up to 170. Got JDM taking on Islam Makhachev. I still think Islam's skill for skill is just so high level. For him to go out there and do what he did against Bilal was very impressive, made that Islam fight more interesting. If JDM can shut him down and throw those hands, but Islam's boxing is underrated. That I agree. Slick. His timing, like he's a high level black belt in every aspect of MMA. We'll give him. Jack versus Islam, I think, is huge. Not as big as Ilya versus Islam, but who knows? Maybe they both win and Islam comes back down to 55 and the fight's even bigger.
Alexander Volkanovski, who has shared the octagon with Makhachev twice, probably understands both fighters better than most. He sees Della Maddalena's temperament as perfectly suited to handling Islam's pressure. Volkanovski admired how Jack stayed composed against Belal Muhammad's constant pace, noting his knack for making subtle mid-fight adjustments. In his view, that adaptability might be the key to surviving and possibly stealing rounds from Makhachev.
So JDM is getting ready for Islam Makhachev. How dangerous is he for Islam? So he's going to be an absolute nightmare. But Belal, who's a wrestler, look how we handle that. And you know he's a beast of the meat. Islam's not taking this lightly. So him moving up, I still think is a nightmare for a lot of the people in the division, but I think JDM can do it.
In Machado, Gary focused on the technical side of things. For him, this fight is all about takedown defense. He considers Della Maddalena the sharper striker, but also knows that one successful takedown for Makhachev could flip the fight instantly. Gary questioned whether Jack's stamina could hold up if he's forced to defend takedowns for 5 straight rounds, calling it the ultimate test of his conditioning.
The fight for me really is when Islam grabs a hold of Jack, how good has Jack improved? Because Islam is world class at that and has been for probably his entire life because of the way he trains and where he has come from. So can Jack stop that consistently like he did against Belal? Because he did a phenomenal job against Belal of stopping that. But can he do that against someone who's just cleaner, more technical? On the feet, I think Jack wins it cleanly. I think he'll jab, switching stances. He'll have a bit more fluidity due to the fact that Islam's not going to be changing stances so regularly. So I think Jack can do it on the feet, but the question mark is, can he stop the takedown consistently over 5 rounds?
Dan Hardy offered a more reflective take. He finds the psychology of moving up in weight fascinating. In his experience, dominance in one division doesn't always carry over to another. The extra muscle could make Makhachev stronger, but it might also cost him the speed and explosiveness that made him special at lightweight. Hardy also wondered what would happen next. Even if Jack pulls off the upset, maintaining that title in a division stacked with elite contenders could be an even bigger challenge than beating Islam.
I think Della Maddalena's got a bright future. I don't know whether he's going to hold the belt or he's going to lose it to another one of the top contenders and then pick it back up again. I don't think he's going to lose it to Makhachev though. I think Makhachev holds the lightweight belt against anybody in the world. On any day, including Ilya Topuria. I don't think if he moved up, he would have much success against Makhachev.
Not everyone is convinced Islam's move will go smoothly though. Philip Rowe remains skeptical, believing Makhachev still looks more like a bulked up lightweight than a true welterweight. He predicts that once the exchanges begin, the difference in natural size and power will become clear. Rowe thinks Jack's precision striking could wear Islam down before the fight even reaches the later rounds.
Philip Rowe, what's cracking, man?
Chillin'.
Hey, now listen, you're welterweight, you've been in the game a long time. Islam moving up to 170. Is he big enough for 170?
My personal opinion, I don't think he is, but he's a champ. We'll see when he's there. You know what I'm saying? He has a fight. He's fighting the champ. That's the best 170 in the world right now, right? So we'll see.
So you don't think he has the size, but how do you think he does in the fight versus JDM?
I personally think JDM beats him. I think JDM will be able to get up if he does take him down. I don't think he'll be able to take JDM shots. I think personally he'll stop Islam.
Daniel Dariush provided a measured analysis. He respects Islam's technical brilliance and calm demeanor, but believes that physical attributes could finally become the deciding factor. Darius sees Jack's natural size and power as potential equalizers against Islam's skill, calling this perhaps the toughest fight of Makhachev's entire career.
Islam versus JDM. Do you still favor Islam in that matchup?
I'm going to lean towards JDM. I feel like the size will make a difference. Cardio-wise, JDM has great cardio. Maybe I'm wrong, but so I just feel like JDM.
Gilbert Burns summed up the matchup perfectly. He believes Makhachev's transition to welterweight might actually unlock his full potential, freeing him from the strain of drastic weight cuts. At the same time, he acknowledges that Della Maddalena has been steadily reinforcing his weaknesses, especially on the ground, training with top-level jiu-jitsu experts. Byrne expects a highly technical contest, not a wild brawl, but a strategic chess match where every move matters.
Islam's working very hard. He's being vocal that he wants to go up to 170. I think he's a big boy. He killed himself to make 55. I think that's the right division for Islam. He just tweeted something after the fight that he'll not vacate the title, and then he vacated the title. I don't know, but probably that was in the negotiation. Yeah, I like him moving up. I proven himself. He's #1 pound for pound right now. It's a good fight. Jack and Islam closer than people think, especially with Jack Della Maddalena doing a lot of training with Volk, with Craig Jones, those guys that kind of back the Islam on that first Volk fight. I think they're gonna have a lot of info, a lot of study, a lot of answers. It's closer than people think, this fight. I really like this fight. I don't have time right now. I didn't have time to dig deep a little too much on that fight, but I think it's way closer than people think, and JDM has a clear shot.
With opinions split across the MMA world, UFC 322 is shaping up to be one of the most intriguing main events in recent memory. For Islam Makhachev, it's the chance to join the exclusive club of 2 division champions and silence those who doubt his size. For Jack Della Maddalena, it's the opportunity to cement himself as a legitimate champion and defend his belt against one of the sport's greatest tacticians. What's certain is that neither man will have an easy night. One brings power and precision, the other brings control and relentless pressure. And somewhere in between lies the truth, whether Islam's mastery extends beyond 155 pounds, or if Della Maddalena's composure and striking could hold back the Dagestani storm. On November 15th in Madison Square Garden, the world will find out.